I am going to show you something super cool. It is a tool in Excel that allows you to do a sensitivity analysis. So here on this sheet, I have some formulas that help me calculate the cost of producing a certain number of units. So I can put in how many units I want to produce. Let's say 1. And then down here, it tells me how much that costs. So 22 cents. That's right, because for the first 700,000 units, the cost is 22 cents per unit. So I could check that if it's 700,000, then that's $154,000 is the cost. If it's 700,001, then I pay 15 cents on that last unit. I could make sure my calculation is right. And the total is down here. So if I wanted to see what it costs for a range of units, I can build a table using the data table tool in Excel. And it requires you to set up your inputs and place your output in a certain configuration that I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to look at values of units from 100,000 up to, let's see how much I can drag here. I definitely want it to be over 700,000 because I want to make sure we capture the change. Okay, so this would be the units. And then the cost will go in this other column. Okay, so watch carefully. So I'm going to put a cell reference equals to the place where I have the cost calculated. So it goes there. Now I'm going to use the data table tool. And what the data table tool is, it will show the relationship as if you took each of these values in the units column and plugged them into cell C9. It will do that calculation for you. So if I put 100,000 in here, then this value of 22,000 shows up here because it's just a reference to that. But it should also go into my table here. So let's see how you do that. So you select this whole range of cells. So notice that I start my selection in this blank cell here, which is above the first value in the first column, but it's in the same row as where I put the formula for the output cell I want to calculate. So I have that all selected. You might be on the home menu. We want to go to the data menu, the data tab. And in my version of Excel, I look for a data table under what if analysis. Okay, I get this little dialog box, and it asks for either a row input cell or a column input cell. This is a column table, so I'm going to put in the column input cell. And what that means is, where is the cell reference on the sheet that I want to plug in these units values into? And it's here in cell C9. So it's as if I'm going to take each of these values, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, in turn, plug them into cell C9, and then see what happens in cell E11. That's what's going to be built in this table. And I say, okay. And there, it did the calculations. So here we have this very systematic sensitivity analysis where I can look at different values of the costs, different values of the units, and see the associated cost level. And I see it all in one place rather than having to go into my formula or go into the cell, the input cell, and see how the output cell changes. So notice that for 500,000, the value is reflected here. I'm going to copy the formatting into these cells too. So that is a really nice way of doing a sensitivity analysis. How does some output change the cost when I change an input, in this case, the number of units?